Hello, hello, Melissa May Dillon here, live for December to Remember. I'm live on my personal page, and then we upload it to the YouTube channel. And if you're on the YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe. And whether you are on YouTube or on Facebook, if you have any questions, please drop a comment below. Let me know if you like what we're talking about, if there's anything you want to talk about. And this one little hair is going to drive me nuts. And this evening, I am sitting before my beautiful fire, which my lovely, amazing husband made. And then it was his idea, like, you should sit before the fire. And I'm in my rich girl era hoodie, but I may have to take it off because it's kind of warm down here. But I had the most amazing experience happen today. But I wanted to share also that I got $1 million in chocolate. How crazy! Like, I was shopping down the candy aisle to get some candy for the stockings and our stuffing stockings. And I saw that they had $1 million chocolate bar. So I'm super excited about that. Just evidence, synchronicity. I don't know that I've ever seen something. I've seen like gold coins, but I've never seen $1 million chocolate bar. So there's that. And then it reminded me that I actually have this on my refrigerator, $1 million bill. Isn't it cool? And this is, this is from my friend Mary. She got it when we made $1 million in the insurance exam queen business. And she gave it to me in this magnet thing to keep it. And I was like, what is this? I was so confused. So she's like, it's $1 million bill. I was like, oh, duh, it's that simple. It's $1 million bill. So I wanted to bring that on because December to Remember is about manifesting $1 million in 1 month. And I would love it to be this month, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I am fully on board with uncovering the journey to $1 million more than I am about receiving the $1 million. I already know, like, I've already received 2 million even in my business and starting it in 2022. So there's no shock or surprise to me that I can make millions. I made the first $1 million in 2 years and 3 months, and then the second $1 million within 9 months. So like, I'm just collapsing time as to how quickly I'm able to make $1 million. And I'm just essentially drawing the line in the sand, telling the universe I want to make $1 million in 1 month. And I understand that it may not be this month that I receive it, but the journey that I am on, the expansion that I'm experiencing, and all the things that I'm going through is what is allowing me to be able to get in sync with receiving $1 million. And working on money beliefs, like yesterday in my live, I talked about how money in my hands is good for the planet. And we have a lot of crazy like money beliefs that it could be hard to say things like that. It could be hard to accept things like that. And anyway, I had a magical experience that I mostly want to talk about. So I am in Melanie Ann Layer's Alpha Femme experience, where you get to have all of her programs for a year. And Melanie Ann Layer is a woman who in 2016 was living homeless out of her car. And from the front seat of her car, she built a 6-figure coaching business that then turned into an $88 million brand, global, all over the place. It's freaking incredible and amazing. And she just teaches her information. She teaches what she learned. She shares her stories, her wisdom, and she does different programs throughout the year. And her Alpha Femme experience is being able to attend everything she does for an entire year. And it's been awesome and amazing. And she just released a new program that she has never done before. And it's called the God Zone. And it's freaking fabulous. And with the God Zone, it's when she said, like, because we've heard the phrase, like, especially if you've gone to church and everything, that, you know, we are created in the image of God. She's like, but she's like, I have always interpreted that we are creators just like God is. And like, I've known that, but I've never really fully landed on that. Like, being created in the image of God means that we are created as creators. And I know that, like, I talk about that all the time, like, we create our own reality. And but the way in which she said it, and the way it just gave it a whole new life to it for me. And one of the homeworks that we have in the God Zone is like setting the tone for how things are going to go, because again, we are creators of our own reality. She says start with something small, like the way in which you have your morning beverage, your morning coffee. You know, she's like, think about it before you have the experience, and think about how wonderful it'll be, and think about how awesome it's going to be, and how you're going to enjoy the moment, and how you're just going to be so grateful, you know, to be able to have your coffee or whatever it is you want to drink, and just make it like this beautiful thing in your mind. And then go do it, right? So you intentionally think about how wonderful, amazing, and awesome it's going to be to have your morning coffee, and how, you know, you can look out, you know, whatever it is for you, like even sitting in front of the fireplace having your coffee, just making it beautiful in your mind, experiencing it beautiful, amazing, and awesome in your mind, and then going to do it and experiencing that in real life. And she talks about how her fiance makes her a coffee every morning, and she like gets all giddy with the gratitude about him coming to her with the coffee, and she'll even like, he's gonna put it in this mug, you know, and it's gonna be like this, and then like many times they're in the zone together, and he brings her everything in that same mug, the one that she, you know, visualized. And she's like, but if he didn't bring it to me in that mug, whatever mug he brings me it in, it feels like, oh, I didn't even think about this mug and how awesome it is. But she just always is cherishing, you know, her life and being grateful for everything, like living life like it's a movie, like it's the best story ever written. And that's like being in the God zone, is writing your own story, being the author and the creator of your life. And so obviously I'm following and doing everything I can, you know, with that Melanie offers. And so today I was like really being intentional about being in the God zone while having my coffee. And I even was like reading my book and looking out at my windows at my pond and the trees that we have. And even though they're all bare, there's like this beauty right now while the earth is going through the season of winter and losing all the leaves and being bare. And there's like a little glistening of like, you know, what is it? Ice? Ice, frost. Frost is a word for it on everything. And so I was just intentionally having this beautiful morning with coffee and hanging out with the baby and stuff. And then David later gets up. He slept in because he had to be my hero last night. I went shopping to Target, and those pictures that I took of all those cool new dresses that I bought, somehow I forgot a bag of clothes at the checkout. And when I came home later that night, I was like, oh my God, I'm missing like 4 items that I had bought, like 2 dresses and 2 skirts. And I was like, wow, like, where are they? Like, I'm so sad. And this is an hour. We live in the boondies. Like, so this is an hour and a half away. And David's like, I'll go get it. They, you know, they don't close until midnight. So he drove all the way back there to go get my lost bag. And they had to like check the cameras and everything and confirm. And they had already put everything back. So then he had to go shopping again for the clothes. And I was like, I had to send him pictures of what it was. And he found best as he could. He couldn't get 2 of the dresses, so I'll have to order them online. But he got me the skirts, which is great because they're on like clearance. They're like $9. And I looked online. If you buy them online, they're like $28. So they're in clearance on the store. And he even got me a better size. Like apparently there's the sizes at Target is like, you know, your normal sizes, small, medium, large, and it goes extra large, XXL, right? So there's XL, extra large, and then there's XXL, and then there's 1X, and then there's 2X. But XXL is not the same as 2X, and XXL is this, like, it goes XXL, and then the next bigger up goes 1X, and the next bigger up goes 2X. And I had tried on the XXL, and it was just a teensy bit smaller than I would like. And for some reason, my mind just went up to the 2X. I didn't quite know how it worked, and I thought it was an error. I don't know. But the 2X was like, well, these are a little too big. But I was like, it's either the XXL or the 2X, so I'm going to go with the 2X. I'd rather have it be a little bit too big than a little bit too small. And there's no other option in my head. Well, David came home with a 1X, and I was like, oh, he got the wrong ones. I was like, oh, whatever. But something told me, it was like, just try it on. So I tried it on, and I'm like, oh my God, this fits the best out of all the ones that I tried. I didn't even think that their sizes went XXL, 1X, 2X. I get it now. So he ended up getting a better size for me of the skirts. So that's fabulous. So everything worked out, you know, in my favor, in the God zone. And I had to like remind myself to be in the God zone last night because I was stressing because I like called Target and they would not answer. And then they did answer, but then it's like they picked up the phone and they set it down and they didn't touch it. And like you can hear the beeps, you can hear like people talking, but they just ignored the phone for 13 minutes. I stayed on. And then I was like, I'm going to try calling different departments and then asking them to get me to customer service. And then electronics answered and they said, I'm going to get you to customer service. And then they didn't. And I was like, I was like, everything's going to work out in my favor. It's going to be better than ever. It's going to be awesome and amazing. And then that's exactly what happened with David getting the better size skirts. So he slept in this morning, obviously, because he had to drive 3 hours last night to go rescue my clothing that I had lost. And after he, you know, he got up, I forget what time it was. I don't know. The baby and I didn't even get out of bed until 10. I mean, I think she got up at 9:30, but I didn't get out of bed until 10. And she was just playing around in the bedroom. And we've been kind of struggling with like her bedtime and her nap times. And like I generally like just start putting her to bed, like putting her to nap when she's expressing that she's tired. Whereas David wants to put her down for a nap like at exactly a certain time or between, you know, a certain time. And he's like, the earlier the better, so that she goes down earlier at night. But I've struggled with being able to put her down. She'll fight me for a long time before she goes to sleep with me if I try to put her down before she's actually tired. So in my experience, I'm just like, it's too exhausting to try to make her go to sleep before she's ready. So I just don't do that. But he is able to do that. She does respond differently to him. But he got irritated that she wasn't in bed yet. So he's frustrated. He's like, we have talked about this. She's supposed to have nap time. So I'm like trying to be in the God zone, like, you know, enjoying my morning, enjoying the coffee, intentional creator of my reality, like just feeling really good, feeling really awesome. And then David's like, rah, 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 rah. And somehow though, I was able to mostly stay in the God zone. I did not personally take on his anger. I understand like, he's got his stuff and he's got to deal with it. And, you know, he can feel however he feels, but it does not need to impact my mood and what I'm doing. So I was like, well, I got to go get some wrapping paper. So I'm going to go do that. You can, you know, put the baby down for a nap. So she immediately passes out with him, which is great and awesome because that's what she does when she's, daddy is able to put her right down. I'm like, well, then you should be doing her nap every day, but whatever. So I was driving and I was just like, normally, if I left the house with a situation like this where David and I kind of had some conflict, I would ruminate it in my head and I would think about it and I would be like, oh, like he's so wrong for this and it needs to be like this. And then it's like, I'd get mad that he's mad. It's like double mad, which is like pointless. But instead of thinking about those things, I was thinking about how I'm in the Alpha Femme experience and how I'm like listening to the God Zone. And then I'm graduating AFE soon. So like I said, I'm in Melanie's Alpha Femme experience for this year. And I started sometime in January of last year. So it's coming up to my 1-year renewal. And I was thinking about how I'm already signed up for AFE Next, which is the next tier of her offerings. And in AFE Next, they do have like monthly meetings, and I know like she kind of provides some coaching and stuff. So it's like the next level. I already signed up to be a part of it a while back for when AFE ends. And so I was thinking about how I'm going to be part of AFE Next and how I can have these conversations with Melanie. I could talk about my business, and I was just envisioning those things. And then the most magical thing happened. For a while now, like I've talked about this before, how my sister manifests things. And like, for instance, one day she was like, I want to see owls. She's like, I just want to see owls. Like, show me owls, universe. Just let me know the owls are there. Let me know, like, you hear me. Whatever, you know, whatever it is, she just wanted to be able to see owls. And she ended up seeing like 2 owls in the middle of a field. Like they were just hanging and chilling out. And we've talked about, you know, people just doing that. Like, just try it out. Just like say what it is you want to see and let the universe do it. And I had said, you know, I wanted to see eagles. Like we live around, you know, in the country, in the woods, like there are eagles around. And I was like, I want to be able to see eagles. You know, I want to see eagles. And there was a while where I was like searching the skies, like as I'm driving, wherever we're going. And I'm like, where's the eagle? Where's the eagle? Come on, universe, where's the eagle? And all I was getting was hawks, like tons of hawks, like hawks, left and right hawks. And I was like, you know what? Hawks are pretty cool. Hawks are awesome. We can do hawks. And so whenever I see them, there's a lot of them that'll fly over our pond. And whenever I see them, I stop, I take a moment. I'm like, oh my God, look how glorious. Like I really use it to anchor in, my gratitude to be able to see this beautiful hawk. And they're so easy to see now because all the tree leaves are gone. And so it's easier to see them flying around and doing their thing. And I remember the other day, it kind of took my breath away watching some hawks fly across our pond. And I was like, oh, this is so awesome. And I'm just always like, looking around, checking out for my hawks. So today when I was driving, and instead of continuing the anger that, had initiated with David and I's conversation, I was like, nope, not mine. That's his. I'm going to let it go. And focusing on what I'm doing next with the AFE next and how I'm in the God zone and all these amazing things. As I'm driving, something's like, look up. And I look up and there's a freaking bald eagle just soaring along. And I was like, oh, and because we're in the middle of nowhere in the country, I could just stop in the middle of the road. I stopped in the middle of the road. I get out of my car so I can I wanted to actually grab my phone, but I was like, fuck it. I'm just watching this glorious eagle the whole time. So I stop. I'm able to watch the eagle. And then I was like, I want to see it more. So I got out of my car van so I can go look. And there's two of them. There was two eagles soaring. And my whole heart is just like, wah! I was like, wah, everything's going to be okay. Everything's magical. It's all awesome. I'm in the God zone. So then I get back in my car and I'm just like, wow, like this is awesome. I got my eagles. I've been like wanting my eagles for so long. And I'm so excited. And I appreciated all the hawks. I was like, I'll take the hawks, no worries. And that's one of the things about manifesting is actually releasing the need for having an outcome or releasing the how it's going to happen, And so I said I want to see eagles. And for a little bit, I was like, where's my eagles? Where are my eagles? But then eventually I just like, let it go. And then I just appreciated all the hawks that came by because it's just birds in general flying through the air that just are super magical to me. So to see those eagles today of all days, it felt so awesome. It felt so amazing. And I just sat in my car for a minute, just appreciating the gratitude, just like, I just got my eagles. I'm really, really like the next thing is I really want a pair of eagles that live on our pond that we can see all the time and perhaps even get a camera on them. That would be awesome. There's like, if you go to YouTube, you can do like live eagle nests and there's cameras set up in certain eagles' nests and they watch them, they watch the babies grow, they watch the eggs hatch, they watch the parents feeding the eggs. You just got to be careful. It's a little scary sometimes because you'll see dog collars up there. That'd be the one problem is like the eagles could totally eat zoo. So we have to watch out for the hawks even eating zoo technically. I mean, he's the size of a freaking squirrel. But yeah, so there's so much magic just filled my body when I see all those hawks flying. And then there was eagles and then to have two, like I was like, I just want one eagle and to have two eagles flying. And I had posted it in the God Zone group with Melanie and Layer, and someone had commented that when you see two in unison, it's letting you know that heaven and earth are like in sync working together. And I was just like, wow, it was so amazing. And then I went out, I did some shopping. I got my wrapping paper. I just felt really good. And that's when I ran into my $1 million chocolate bar and I got some for Christmas. Like, that's awesome. And then remember my $1 million for Mary. I want to touch it again. $1 million bill. And in terms of December to remember, I did manifest 1.5 million in the form of a business loan. I didn't ask for the business loan. They actually reached out to me and they said, you qualify up to 1.5 million in a loan if you would like. And to me, like, I know like some people think debt is not money, but it is. Like, it's someone else's saying that we trust that you're going to make this money and that you're going to pay us back for it. And so to me, I was like, yeah, I've got the 1.5 million. And again, I'm not really focused on the money. Like, I don't know. I think we're somewhere like right now, 60 to 70,000 for this month. Like, that's really far away from $1 million. And I'm not like comparing my monies that I currently have to the $1 million. Like, I know it's so much more about my inner work. It's so much more about what I'm doing. It's so much more about how I'm feeling. It's so much more about how I'm radiating. I know that the way in which I handled today and the conflict between David and I, because even when I came home, like normally I would be like still mad and like shut down until he, till something happened. I don't know. But instead it was just I when I came home, I went up to him, I rubbed his back. I said, "Are you feeling okay?" Like, I didn't let the anger hang. I didn't keep it around. I didn't focus on how he needed to change. I didn't focus on how it needed to be different. I just went on with my day and then came home and just expressed my love to him. And like, just, that's the inner work. That's more important to me than tracking the monies. Like, because I know as I do the inner work, the monies come. Like, it's part, that's more of how it happens than trying to physically do something to make money happen. And there are things that I am doing as part of the business, but it's not forced. It's not pushed. It's more like what feels good, what's exciting, who's coming to talk to me, what people am I meeting with, what people am I networking with, what plans feel good to create and do. Nothing about what I'm doing is forced or pushed or stressed or antsy or like, how are we going to get this money? How are we going to get a return on investment? I feel none of that. I have no attachments to the amount of money that I have currently received this month to the $1 million that I am aspiring to have. And again, if the $1 million doesn't happen in the month of December, I'm fine. Like, it's not so much about having it hit in this month as much as it is anchoring the energy of $1 million in 1 month. And so I'd love it to be this month. That would be awesome and amazing and just like a wonderful Christmas miracle. But it's not so much about receiving it in this month as it is, again, aligning myself to be able to receive $1 million in 1 month, getting into the frequency of $1 million in 1 month. And Melanie is a person who often makes $1 million in 1 day, And so to be in her energy, to have her, reading my posts. I was just in a meeting with her for the AFE Us Time, and I celebrate the day that I had the meeting, the day that she had Us Time for AFE was the day that the Insurance Exam Queen hit a total of 2 million. Like, that's just freaking awesome. And it's just the alignment and the synchronicities and everything lining up. So December to remember, manifesting $1 million in 1 month. I love for it to be this month, but it doesn't matter to me. It's more about getting into the alignment and frequency, doing the inner work about making $1 million. It's not about comparing the monies, and it's really not even about the monies. The monies is a byproduct. The money is a side effect of who you're being, how you're showing up, how you're operating, how you're putting yourself in the God zone, the creator zone, and how are you feeling about life, and how you're appreciating the bald eagles that are soaring through the sky for you. Like, it's just awesome and amazing. So I love you all. I'm going to let you all go. And again, I just want to share my $1 million chocolate bar and my $1 million bill from my BFF, Mary. All right. Love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye.